So the Outriders demo is coming on February the 25th, and I am actually really looking forward to it. As a old school looter player and Destiny player and Division player, well, basically I have been hurt a lot by looter shooters in the past. I can't help but feeling that Outriders just might be the one. If there's one thing that convinced me, it was Outriders' plans for the endgame. Even though it's not a live service game, the endgame is baked in from the start, and that's what I want to talk about here. We are going to discuss things that matter to us hardcore looters, and that is endgame, classes, build flexibility, and finally gear and crafting. I've linked the official video down below which walks you through the endgame that will come with the game. And that video explains the take on endgame content that People Can Fly have for Outriders. The endgame here involves mods, crafting, and other pieces of endgame that we are normally used to. Quick note that they do mention that the single player campaign will be roughly 40 hours, which I don't know if I believe right now, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So endgame expeditions. At launch there'll be 14 expeditions in 14 unique areas that have not been used before in the game. And then there'll be a 15th challenge which is called Eye of the Storm. A little light on details, but they sort of seem like tough Destiny strikes mixed in with a lot of Torment level stroke Nephilim Rift level types of difficulty. Not recycled story missions or anything like that. Now here are the details, and honestly it looks like the best bits from Diablo's Nephilim Rifts, Division's World Tier System and Destiny Strikes. If that sounds like something you'd love, here's the breakdown. The character cap of Outriders is 30, but you can level your gear and weapons up to 50, and enemies themselves will level up to 50 in the end game as you move through the challenge tiers. This has real echoes of Diablo's Torment levels, Nephilim Rift levels, and Division's World tiers. Number 2. Loot does not drop from enemies in the endgame missions, only at the end, and you are playing for time. The faster you do it, the more rewards you'll get at the end, and again, taking up the best bits from Diablo's Nephilim Rifts. Customization and build options look insane. There are several hundred mods that can be slotted for your weapons, armor, or class skills. You can get mods by dismantling gear that has them. They give the example of dismantling a low level legendary to receive its tier 3 mod to put in a higher legendary later in the game. The skill tree gives serious Path of Exile vibes to me. Free RESPECS is a great addition, allowing for even more flexibility. You can break your class skill boundaries by finding mods that use other classes' perks. You can upgrade gear through all rarities, meaning you can invest in guns and take them with you. So the ultimate goal here is to crawl through as many difficulty tiers as you can, get all your gear to level 50 and take on the hardest final challenge, which I believe at this moment in time is called Eye of the Storm. That will require coordinated builds and teams, as well as coordinated tactics. This sounds like a brilliant combination of Warframe, Diablo and Division. This is a phenomenal starting point for Outriders endgame. He is hoping the game picks up the Destiny and Division exiles and the community builds at a nice pace. There will be 4 classes out of the box, and broadly speaking you can break them down into 4 categories. I'm simplifying for you just to make life a bit easier. You have the first class, which is the Devastator, who is basically your tanky class that can fortify himself and mitigate damage. Think Destiny's Titan mixed with Diablo's Barbarian that can make spikes stick out of the ground and impale people. We then have the Trickster, a squishy glass cannon, high mobility, close range class that can dish out serious damage with a variety of ways to get out of dodge quickly. Third class will be the Technomancer, who basically to me looks like a Division agent with his turret, gadgets and technology, and he can also heal, and he'll be the only class that can heal. Finally, we have the Pyromancer, a mid-range class that can set everything on fire and cause things to explode for high AoE damage. What I like about these characters is how they are clearly defined by their abilities, which are further amplified by the weapons. With only the Technomancer offering any form of active healing, healing comes from killing enemies for everybody, with different classes gaining health slightly differently from each other, meaning every class will play significantly differently. On top of this, there is a whopping skill tree that has bridging nodes very similar to Path of Exile, which allows you to make very unique builds. This is brilliant for min-maxers, and free RESPECS is a fantastic design decision. No more choice paralysis. What really sets Outriders apart is that it's PvE only, which means the developers can really go to town on the perks and mod selection available on the weapons and the gear. What that means for us as the player is it's going to be a lot of fun, no balancing for PvP. Secondly, every weapon has mods which can be removed and added to other weapons, and this allows you to break class boundaries, which is going to be really cool. You could go into a game and some random person would have a build you've just never seen in your life, and that is a really cool thing to have in a game like this. Add to this the set bonuses on the armor, which push you further into the feedback loop of gear and the build system, and you have on the face of it a massive amount of viable builds, and all of it is out of the box when you purchase the game. That is it for my quick breakdown of Outriders. The demo is out on February the 25th, so if you're watching this on the day I release the video, that's on Thursday, and I'm really hoping the gameplay convinces me that the game is worth investing in. My main fears are it will be too much bullet soaking and bullet spongy enemies and not enough feedback loop style abilities and combos. Let's see what Thursday brings, and let's see if the demos can make us a believer. Take care and thank you for watching.